YouTubers and airsofters alike, welcome to another episode of Jesse Hill's Airsoft Corner. Today I'm going to be doing more of a revamp of an old episode. My first episode I ever did of the Airsoft Corner, I kind of overshot my balance and did an episode on two of the guns that I have, but I don't think I did them justice, so we're just going to jump right into the guns. Today I'm going to be talking about the IWI/Umerex conglomeration of the CO2 powered Uzi hard kick. Now, this gun, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, shoots about 390 FPS, so it shoots a little too hot to be shooting indoors. I'm sure that if you get a higher grain BB, such as a .30, it'll shoot slightly less. But as of today, I have yet to find a place really to use it safely other than outside and using heavier pellets. So the gun is made of a strong polymer construction as well as a nice steel construction as well. The gun, of course, as they said, is hard kick, which simply means that the bolt moves, and since the bolt is heavier, it actually feels like a round's coming out, and it actually has kick, so you could use it in a movie or something like that. That being said, I'm just going to show you, first off, the magazines. Now, this is the only reason I would rate this a 4.5 or a 4, instead of rating it a full 5 where it should be. The magazines are incredibly expensive. Not only that, but honestly, they could be longer, or they could be used to hold a little more. Now, that being said, the rounds do not load in one at a time. They load a zigzag like a lot of the magazines do today. And they do come with this little hex key. Each one of them does. The problem is that they're massively expensive, and I've yet to find a place that really sells them for a decent and honest price. So if you guys are able to find one, I'm sure that if you guys talk about it in the subscription or in the links below or something like that, or maybe even leave something like that in the comment section, it'd probably help quite a bit for other people that want this gun, because I do recommend it as a playing kind of gun, because it's very fast and it's very scary to play against. So the gun, of course, is CO2 fed. You take a CO2 cartridge, you drop it in there, and you take the plug here, and you gently screw it back down until you hear the hissing, and then it stops. You gotta get it nice and firm so you don't waste a lot of gas. Now, depending on the weather, I can say the gas consumption goes one of two ways. One cartridge and I'd say a half or a quarter per magazine, which means you're going to be able to shoot about a full magazine and a quarter in decent weather, so about that much and up. So that would be pretty nice, considering it holds about 35 rounds in each one, roughly, and it's a decent magazine. The problem is they're just so insanely expensive, but the construction is good, and you are getting something out of the amount that you're paying for as far as construction goes. The gun is, the gun needs something strong, considering the construction of the gun is heavy to accommodate the hard kick. That hard kick on any other gun, like a polymer gun, such as the Marushan guns or Tokyo Marui guns, it would rip the gun apart. So I think Umerex did a very, very, very good job about this. She does come in both full auto, semi-auto, and safe. And another interesting feature about all Uzis is they have that little button right there that you have to squeeze in to fire it, which really goes unnoticed once you get used to the gun itself. But I mean, the trigger, the lower receiver port, or the lower part where the magazine feed goes, and the front grip are made of a strong polymer, so you don't really have to worry about it breaking too bad. If you do break it, you'd have to do something stupid. Of course, it has the folding wire stock, which is relatively comfortable, and you have your sights, the one up front, which is adjustable to a degree, and the back, which is what I call a teeter-totter sight, which means you can adjust between the two. The gun's already super accurate, so you really don't have to worry necessarily, since it is a CO2 powered gun, and only CO2 powered, by the way. Since it is a CO2 powered gun, you really don't have to worry too much about, it being inaccurate, because it's an aggressive shot. And it is definitely one of the most accurate guns I've ever shot. So the sights are fully adjustable, including on the sides. With a simple wrench, you could adjust from left to right accordingly, what kind of eye you use or whatever. And I can say that it's made it quite well. There's a button back here, like on the actual Uzi, you can pull up and you can take off the top, and the charging handle, or what I call for short, idiot-proof kind of guy, the cocker, pretty much. It just comes off right easily, and as you can tell, this solid metal receiver is huge. I mean, it's one of the biggest receivers from here to there. That's a good 5 inches, 5 or 6 inches of metal, and that's what causes the hard kick. This thing kicks like a mule. I can tell you that much. And I mean, if there's one thing I can tell you, if you are going to take this apart, there is a part inside that is made of plastic, and I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but it's just right there. If you do take this apart, you have to make sure that that is tucked up underneath this receiver's guide bar, because if you don't, it'll bend the plastic and snap it, and this is actually relatively important because it keeps it on track without rattling on the inside. That little piece does all that work. So just be extra careful. Like, I can't stress that enough. There'd be nothing worse than this failing on you when you're playing and something catastrophic happens because of one little thing. So, here's how you put it back on. You just, you take that, there's a little hole, slot it, put it in, and locked into place. You smack it, and it clicks back into place. You don't have to worry about it ever again because it's held in there really tight. This gun is so comfortable. Oh my gosh, it's great. I'm not going to show you how to shoot it like I do in all my episodes. I don't really do that. I'll probably do some episodes where I show all my guns going off and everything like that. But it's got sling mount points right here and right here. So, I mean, I usually use just a single sling and just put it right back here. If it's comfortably, it's okay. It's more than enough. The cool thing about it is the stock also turns into a rudimentary grip on the front, so you don't really have to go find one. And it comes with a bayonet attachment, so this is bayonet okay. You can also, by pressing down this button on the front and unscrewing this, you can also screw on a suppressor, which I think would be silly because it needs to be small anyway if you're going to do CQB with it somehow or something like that. You want a shorter gun anywho. So, I mean, and it's dead accurate, so the suppressor's just going to get in the way. I don't recommend it at all. That being said, the gun is very simple to operate. You simply slide that in, you squeeze the back safety, and you pull the trigger. Now there is a common thing about this gun that misuse. In order for the gun to fire, okay? I'm sorry I didn't show you that before. The bolt has to be open. This is an open bolt operation, okay? You put it on safety, then you flip it off, and put it on auto or single. Now if the bolt is open, then you slide the mag in, as you can see. Little mag's parked down there just right above the barrel. And there you go. It'll fire. So, it is an open bolt gun because of its heavy blowback. It needs to be open so that it can get that initial spring moving, because if it doesn't, it's just too heavy. There's just no way to fire it like that because the spring's just too heavy to do anything. So the mechanism is an open bolt. I would just say it's an open bolt submachine gun. So yeah, it runs very well. I think that this would survive like in bad weather and stuff pretty well. I would stay away from water like always because water is a gun's enemy anywho, and it's just, I mean, it would be able to handle dirt. I remember when I fired, when I first got this, I was just going to go fire some cheapo rounds out of it, and it ate the cheapo rounds. It chewed them off and sent shards down the range, and the other parts you just see flying out. So it was kind of scary, but it definitely showed that this gun is definitely well built because it didn't do anything to the inside of the gun. It just crushed them and chewed them up like it was nothing. But it runs really well. You got the mag switch and stuff. So the gun is very simple, very good. Of course, it's CO2 powered, so unless you figure out how to make it a little weaker or to put a heavier grain pellet in there, I don't recommend you take this to a CQB area because a lot of CQB areas do about 350. So it's a good gun. It runs well. The only thing I have a problem with is, of course, the magazines. That's about it. The gun is great. It's very well made. It runs well. It's very reliable. Like I said, it's very durable. That receiver in there is very heavy, and it does its job very well. And the hard kick makes it look so realistic. So if you are a movie person, I would recommend this gun. It just looks real cool. I've always liked a lot of the Israeli weapons, so this would definitely fit very well in a lot of CQB players. Shelves or something like that. The only thing is you have to be a little more wealthy to afford the mags, because buying like 4 mags would equal out to what this gun would cost, roughly. So, I mean, she only runs about 150 140, so that's not too bad, but the magazines are just $34 a pop at Evike. So if you can find a place that's cheaper, you'd definitely be doing yourself a favor and be doing other people a favor if you left a comment maybe where it is. The gun's really good. Shoots a little hot, but it's definitely worth the money. It's a fun little gun to have, and I recommend it. So guys, that does it for the Uzi episode, and I just would like to ask you to, when you do play, make sure you have a gun cover over the front of it and place this gun into a bag according to city ordinance. Also, remember to use trigger safety, and when you are playing in a non-sanctioned area, of course, make sure people know that you are playing and that you are playing with an airsoft gun. Make sure that orange tip's on there, because there's nothing worse than getting the cops called on you when you have realistic guns running around. You will be shot or worse or something like that. You might even die. So please use precautions, use plenty of safety, and play smart, guys. You have a nice day.